Now, folks, all this talk, yes, we use all kinds of forecast model data and then local climatology to come up with our forecast. But again, we mentioned last week there's some important changes in NOAA that have occurred, and I got the opportunity to interview a physical scientist from NOAA who was recently laid off. I am with Andrew Hazelton, who was part of the layoffs with NOAA and the National Weather Service at the end of February. Now, Andrew actually is responsible for doing a lot of coding for some of the forecast models that meteorologists use to forecast the track of hurricanes, etc.
I was with the Environmental Modeling Center. Basically, we build a lot of the forecast models, not just for hurricanes, but for all the weather. GFS, if you're, it's one that people probably know. A lot of the models that predict severe weather, and then my duty focused on hurricanes. So, the Hurricane Analysis and Forecast System, HAFS. Or HAFS, I was part of that team, and also working on hurricanes in GFS and things like that. So, a lot of different things related to forecasting and modeling of hurricanes.
What would happen if we continue down this pathway where we continue with the layoffs, such as yourself? What is going to happen with the American public and how they're going to be informed about severe weather?
Well, we're worried that the forecast skill improvements that we've seen over the last couple decades, certainly for hurricanes and for other things, will get worse. Improvement will stop and start to get worse again because fewer people collecting data. We're already seeing that with some of the balloon launch sites up in the Northeast going to less frequent data collection. If the satellite data, some of that gets stopped, or anything like that. There's hurricane research flights. If those don't go as frequently because of some of this, there's a lot of ways that we could be getting less data, and then those of us working on the models, you have fewer people working on the models, those don't improve as much, and it just kind of slows down the progress and maybe even reverses some of that. And that means that the forecast improvements that people have come to count on to keep them safe may not be there, and that can risk lives and property.
How much have we seen the forecast models improve in terms of error, especially with landfalling tropical systems, over the last 5 years, would you say?
It's been a pretty steady improvement. If you look, back 30 years, for example, now 5-day forecast now, which is how far out the cone goes now, is about as accurate as a 1 or 2 day forecast was in the early 1990s, like when Hurricane Andrew hit down here. So that's a huge improvement that allows people a lot more lead time to get ready. And I know there's further advancements that we want to make. The National Hurricane Center would like to extend their forecast out to 7 days. Once the model skill and once they're comfortable with that. So there's a lot of room to improve if we have the expertise and the data and things like that. But there's also a lot that can be lost if we go the other direction.
I definitely am hoping that you, amongst others, can return to work and continue the great work that you are doing. I just want to let folks know that if they want to see more of our interview, they can go to WOAY.com, and we're going to have a little bit more of an extensive overlook and how this is going to affect people going forward. So thank you very much for joining me, Andy.
Thank you.